Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon, your host, and of course you know where we are. We're at Sienna Restaurant. It's a fabulous place. It's absolutely wonderful. Italian restaurant. The food is fabulous. But the restaurant. Now hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Now I've been calling him OJ.
Yes.
Now he wants to be called OG.
Yes.
Because he is OG.
Yes, I'm not OJ.
So OG is right here next to me. You've just eaten here.
Yes, it was very delicious.
They have fabulous food.
Yes, I had the steak sandwich with the potatoes. It was very succulent. I recommend it to anyone.
Oh, see, look. I'm not going to say right from the horse's mouth, but I guess I just did. Hey, OJ, how have you been?
Good. Hey, before we get started, I have a surprise for you.
Oh, I love surprises.
Yeah, last time
Did you
I
know
was
it's
on...
going to be my birthday soon?
Oh, no way. Well, I got a birthday present for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
June 19th, I've got a birthday coming up. I'm going to announce it, start announcing
You're going to have a big party?
No.
Oh.
No, because then everybody will know how old I am, and I don't want that out there.
Yeah, but you're like fine wine. You get better with age.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'm like a bottle of red wine. No, I guess you have to call me a bottle of white wine.
Okay. Right.
I don't know. Because I think red refers to Russians, does it?
Oh, yes. And you're
Right?
a white wine because you're English.
Yes, I'm English.
Yes.
So I can't help what I am, but I am what I am. I deal with the silly stuff.
Yes.
So, OG,
Yes.
what's going on? You've got a present.
I got a
Wait a
surprise
second,
for you.
hold on. Look at this ring. We talked about this last time.
That's right.
So look, if you better behave yourself. If you're having
You
a
better
date
behave yourself.
with this guy, you better
That's
make
right.
sure
That's
before
right.
anything happens that you
That's right.
go according to plan.
Exactly. And that's why I had a surprise for you today, because last time you were really enamored with my
I
ring.
loved it.
I didn't want to leave this with you because you could really hurt somebody. You're a nice person.
Yes, you could.
But what we were talking about is like, females protecting themselves because
Yes.
you were coming from the mall that day.
Yes.
So what I did was I brought you a present here.
You didn't know? Oh!
I brought you, that's hot off the wagon right there. That's for you. And this is for Maria.
One for Maria.
Yeah, so you guys will be able to protect yourself.
It's a pepper spray.
Yeah, and it's a keychain.
Hey, wait a second. Look at this. This is funny. I was thinking of something like this the other day.
I know.
And I was thinking but I'm very, I shouldn't announce this, should I? But I will. I'm very aware of wherever I am and what I'm doing.
That's very important.
Especially driving home at night.
Yes.
But now it's driving home anytime.
Yes.
Not only at night.
Yeah,
not everything
stuff
happens.
can happen anytime.
It can happen anytime.
Right.
Absolutely. So this has just come off, right?
Yes.
And
I
what's
put
this?
these are my business cards because I teach women's self-defense
Yes.
as well.
Which
So
is
I wanted
called
to-
RicoCKM.
Yeah, well, that's the old name. My new name is OG Silverback.
OG
Silverback, yes.
I love it because you've got Ricky Gomez here. That has nothing to do with it. But this is. So how are you doing? It's, crime is going up. I'm watching these funerals of
Right.
these
It's
children.
very sad.
I mean, and I don't even know who they are, and I'm crying. And that's not good. That's just not where it should be in this day and age.
It's very sad.
So I'm going to put those right there.
Mhm.
So what is going on? And, you're kind of trading women and people and everything to look after themselves, and more so.
Well, with our current situation here, even globally, I think it's important for people to be self-aware, like you were saying, but also to have self-confidence that comes from martial arts and being able to defend yourself.
Yes.
So I think that's very important. That's where I come in. I'm currently training women over at Knock Muay Thai off of Hacienda
Okay.
with Master Air and Master Jason Velez.
Yes.
Yes.
I know him. So what do you think the most important thing is to teach a woman to have that power and that strength when she gets out of a car or comes out of a restaurant? What are the basic things she needs?
Well, honestly, I think the basic foundation is to study martial arts regularly, because inside of your mind, your psyche, you know that you can handle whatever comes along.
You know what to do.
You know what to do, right? That's the main thing.
Grab this, it's going to go.
Exactly.
Do this, are you whatever, get your knee working.
Well, even before that, let's talk
You know
about
what I
this.
mean, girls.
Let's talk about that situation where you're coming from the mall,
Yes.
and your husband and his friend was waiting for you, and the guy was following you.
This happened to me.
No, you told me about it.
Yes.
And I've thought about it.
He remembers the story.
Yeah, I do, of course, because I like for women to be empowered. So what I was thinking was, if you were taking our martial arts course here off of Knock Muay Thai at Hacienda, you would know to address the guy right there. Say,
Yes.
hey, I think your behavior is making me feel a little afraid, and are you following me intentionally? And that's the first thing. It's called verbal defense. You have to address the criminal.
But you
look him in
can
the eye.
only address this, ladies out there. You can only address it if you have the qualifications to follow through with what, because he could come out and sock you one.
Yeah, but that's where this gift I gave you and
This
Maria
is-
comes in.
So this is where this comes
Exactly.
in. When we take this off, because this is nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Do you want me to take that off?
Yeah, sure. It's yours to do
No,
what you want.
Well, I want to advertise you, pepper spray. So
No, but that's on your keychain. So when you're addressing someone that makes you feel afraid, you pull that out. You say, hey,
yeah.
I feel like you're aggressing upon me. Is that the situation? You give him the opportunity to say, no, I'm cross at it or I'm lost or whatever.
Yeah.
And then based on his feedback, you can know, you
What's
can
going on.
assess. Yeah.
It's a funny thing because women, I think it's because they bear the children, they have an intuition of knowing what's happening around them. They're very aware of any movement of something different or a sound or something because it's embedded in us. Because when you have a child, not that I don't have children, but when you have a child, you're aware of where that child is, continuously aware.
Right.
I mean, until you disappear.
Mm-hmm.
But so I think they're aware of what's happening around them, but some of them aren't prepared. Like you say, they should be more prepared. So how do we get this out there?
Well, I think also what's more important in our modern society, a lot of people are enamored by their phones. And I understand. I mean, it's very entertaining. But when you're out in public, I think it's very important to be aware of your surroundings, situations, how you're feeling. Yeah. And then, you can do that on the phone stuff in private or in your car. Yeah. But I think that's the first one is to be aware, like be present when you're out in public.
I'm very aware. When
I know you are,
home,
but a lot of women aren't.
They are. When I drive home, I'm very aware of, who's behind me all the time. I see those same lanes. So sometimes I'll drop into another lane. Then they drop into that lane.
Uh-oh. Get the pepper spray out.
Well, I'm driving. So then I sort of turn a little way away, I'll do something else, and then they disappear, which, okay.
Right. See, that feeling right there, I don't want any woman to feel afraid or to feel aggressed upon, because when I was a child, I had sickle cell anemia, I was underdeveloped, I had a speech impediment. I used to get beat up a lot.
Well, you're sure not undeveloped.
Well, I mean, yeah, because I worked on
sure
myself, but I know what it's like to be a victim and to feel afraid.
So how do you get over all that?
Through martial arts training at Knock Muay Thai on Hacienda.
I love it. So
yeah, it's very important. Very important.
And I think it's more important in this day and age than it is in any time. So how do we prevent, like we had this shooting, it's just so sad. How do we present things like that? I mean, this is something a little bit different, but at the same time, if somebody had had a pepper spray or something and sprayed the kids who were the gunmen, but whether they've got time to do that, that's the problem.
Well, how about if you and we address what's called the RCA, the root cause analysis? I think that young man was troubled, and I'm not by any means saying what he did was correct. I don't endorse that. But you have to look at both sides of the situation. The young man was troubled. And I think a lot of young men are troubled nowadays because of the modern feminist movement, which I'm all for. Yes. But young men are kind of trapped because now that women have choices and options, they want the top 10% of the guys, right? So if you're just a regular run-of-the-mill guy and all you do is play video games and look at pornography.
But also, when you wonder, you can't even touch a person now.
Yeah, exactly.
See, now they put all these things into, so now even young men, I think they start like 12 years old. And sometimes
even before.
Even younger than that. When they start this little thing about women, there's a woman. And although we call it a little girl, to them that's a woman. Right. To them it's an opposite sex. And they're now getting their little hormones are flooding around and things are happening. And now they've got to be careful, which they're probably the parents tell them, don't touch a girl, don't do this, don't do that. And even when you get older, I mean, I've watched men, I've been in this for a little while, but men are afraid to do, I'm not afraid to touch you at all.
Yeah, because you're traditional female and I'm traditional male.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be afraid to touch me either.
Well, I have your permission first.
See what I mean? That's exactly what I'm talking about.
But that's just our modern society, and that's where my channel
Yeah, but it's the
comes in.
kids. This is all the.
Yeah, but what I do is I do life coaching for young men from 12 up to 70. And I teach men that it's important to have female friends, to have a
Yes.
social circle, so that you can learn how to interface with women in a politically correct way.
Right.
Then that way you won't let pornography determine an unrealistic lifestyle, and then you get frustrated, you pick up a weapon, and you go to school, and you do some traumatic stuff.
Well, something happened to them in the last couple of days, or but a lot of them planned this for a long time. What a world we're living in.
Yes.
If you had to change something with how it's going on, what would you do?
I would make sure that all young children had a positive role model or somebody they could talk to share their feelings outside of their parents, because sometimes your parents have good intentions, but they're the parents, so they're
They don't
hard
know
on you.
sometimes.
You don't know, but sometimes they're hard on you because they want you to be perfect. Whereas if you have like they used to call it a big brother or a big sister.
Yeah, big brother, big sister.
Yeah, you can talk to them about
Yeah.
your fears and concerns, and they can kind of address your emotions and your hormones without making you feel like they're judged.
Yeah,
I think that's very important.
Just to have a conversation.
Yeah, kids don't have that nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my greatest thing is always when a kid comes home from school or something and starts to tell you a story, Mum or Dad, and you interrupt and start telling your story.
Right.
Don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that.
Right.
Listen, just listen. My whole thing has been just listen.
Listening is very important.
Yes, it's very important to listen to your child. That child attention span is very, very short.
Yes.
Very short. So when you start telling your story, they don't even know what you're talking about. They have no idea. They just want to tell their story. So don't forget to just listen. So don't forget to just listen. We got some back thing going on here. I think it's my next guest is letting me know she's here.
And it's a very popular restaurant as well.
Yeah,
You
it's a
should come
very
down
popular
here.
restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely come out here. Sienna restaurant, Italian restaurant, absolutely amazing. So 9500 Sahara, Las Vegas. Okay, and how can people reach you to join?
You can follow me on my YouTube channel, OG Silverback, and also on Instagram and Facebook.
Fabulous. A fantastic guy, absolutely amazing. And,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for my present. He didn't even know it was my birthday, so this is my first birthday present.
And I got one for Maria too.
Maria has one
Yes.
as well. Thank you so much. We'll be right back with our next guest. Take care.